Hey guys, I love the basketball that's been on lately. It's been some exciting games, especially the ones that are like, the seconds left, and it just is won or lost by a basket. And usually, the team that loses, I always say to myself, man, it just comes down to the basics. Like they didn't make their free throws, or they didn't play defense, they just didn't stay with their guy, or they forgot the play, and there was confusion. But it always comes down to the basics. Typically, it's not the ref's fault. It's you missed your shot, or you didn't set the right, you know what I'm saying? Like it's typically not the ref's fault. It's typically not it's your fault. You didn't go back to the base. You weren't there at practice. Maybe you skipped the free throws where you do suicides, and then you gotta shoot and all that stuff. So I wanted to think about that in terms of our faith. And sometimes it's the basics that when it comes to the pressure that we're in, when it comes to when life is just really, sometimes we just have to go back to the basics. I hope this makes sense. Sometimes we just have to go back to the basics. And to me, the basics are just the first and second commands that we get. The greatest command that Jesus gives in Matthew 22. He says, first you gotta love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And then he says, after that, you gotta love your neighbor as yourself. So he says you gotta love God and you gotta love people. And those are just the basics, like just the two greatest ones. And I wanted you to think about that a little bit. How can you apply that in your life, at work or at home or wherever you're doing your thing? If you were to love God and you were to love people, what would happen? What would that look like? And so something to think about. When times get crazy, when times get confusing, I think we got to come back to the basics. And one of these areas is just the greatest commands that we have: to love God with everything that we have and to love people. Well, let's do it.